Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video we're going to be looking at the Australian dollar versus the US dollar, and are we looking to see buyers back in this market? So we talked about Aussie US dollar last week. We've been pretty bullish on this market in particular, and we've been talking about the fact that price could rally up into the 0.7100 handle, where we could see some kind of profit taking from the recent rally. So you can see this kind of extension to the upside here on this weekly time frame, and you could argue that price is overextended into the 0.7100 area. However, we did talk about a slight relief to come from this area. Now, ideally, I'd like to see price come back down into the 0.6875 handle before looking for continuations to the upside, but that's just in a perfect world we'd get that. And fundamentally, what's going on here, the Australian dollar has actually remained fairly strong because of recent CPI data, which showed an increase in inflation, which means that the RBA may have to act more aggressively for interest rates. Now, we know that the Federal Reserve, which are announcing a federal funds rate increase this week, are only looking for 25 basis points, and recent data out of the Federal Reserve are looking that they are going to be fairly soft in their tone. So we should expect maybe a slightly dovish FOMC. However, obviously that is still dependent on data. We actually had some data out today which could also suggest that the US or the Federal Reserve could remain a little bit dovish, which was the CB consumer confidence. It fell from 109 to 107.1. It was actually forecast to come in better than expected, and it didn't. So, you know, showing a little bit of softer data there could help the Federal Reserve's plans to hike to 4.75% and maybe even just to 5% rather than going above towards the sort of above the 5% interest rate hike mark. Now, that could then lead to price breaking to the upside here for the Aussie US dollar. And what's actually caught my eye is the fact that price has recently come into a low here on the 4-hour time frame. So usually what I would expect, if the market was going to start pulling back here on the weekly time frame, I'd expect the 4-hour trend to be making lower highs and lower lows as it comes down to this area. It's like down in here we expected a bullish move, so I expected higher highs and higher lows out of the 4-hour time frame till it came into a resistance level, which was the 0.71. So you can see here we had this consolidation. Price has then traded to the downside here. So if I'm expecting maybe one or two things to happen here, you know, we're either going to get the dovish tone and the buyers continue, which then would create higher highs and higher lows again, or we have the opposite effect. Now, I think that's going to all kind of come into a bit of a conclusion up at the 0.71 handle, and I just like the fact that we've got this kind of break below these lows here, almost like a liquidity grab below the 0.6990 handle, or even you could argue below the 0.7 handle, which is quite a significant level on Aussie dollar. And prices surged to the upside. If I go to the hourly time frame, we've had quite an aggressive move higher. From the low we moved about 70 pips. So this to me is screaming more of a little bit of upside rather than looking for the downside continuation. So what I'd be interested in is if price started to form a sort of pull back into this area, for instance, and then we form maybe another sort of bullish rejection in and around this area, that would make me think that I want to be long up towards the 0.71 again, or at least this consolidation in here. If price then makes it here and it changes trend again, we get the sort of double top, triple top pattern, and it changes trend, then maybe we're on to sort of the bigger move on the weekly. I just think at the moment we've seen this kind of burst of strength here in the Aussie US dollar, and fundamentally this market could still technically move higher. So I wouldn't be surprised if we formed a higher low here and traded up to the next level of resistance. Okay, so that's just something to consider in your own trading. If you are looking at this market, if you're a frequent trader of this market, you want to be looking at potentially that buyers are stepping back in now, so just be aware of that. Thanks for watching the video update. I hope it made a lot of sense. If it did, leave this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some more of our Forex trading content, and if you're stuck with us all the way to the end, please drop a comment in below. What do you want to see out of these videos? Are the videos that you're witnessing right now, are they all that you need, or do you want a little bit more regarding education, maybe even live streams, things like that? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will get back to you. Cheers, guys.